Hi guys, this is Donna, and if you're watching this video, it's because I have directed you to just a little bit of education on with regards to how to have proper toileting biomechanics, particularly for bowel evacuation. It's very important to maintain the health and integrity of your pelvic floor. Whether or not you have chronic constipation or you've been diagnosed with a pelvic organ prolapse, or if I'm just advising you to follow these instructions in the postpartum phase to protect your pelvic floor. The pelvic floor obviously is a group of muscles that help support our organs at the bottom of our pelvis. And when we have to have a bowel movement, the anal sphincter, which is part of this muscle, needs to be able to relax and open in order for the rectum, which sits right here, to be optimized and not allow us to have stool accumulate in the lower bowel, which can create a prolapse and a heaviness in our pelvic floor. So other than eating well, having good hydration and lots of fiber in our diet, this really does help us. So what I'd like you to do is, the first thing is that I'd like you to be able to find a stool. The one I have under my feet here is the traditional squatty potty. And the position on the toilet is to have your arms forward and a little tiny bit, I'm going to turn my body, a little tiny bit of a lordosis or an arch in your back, so your arms are forward. When you start the toileting process, the key is not to hold your breath or to strain. So what I want you to be able to do as a practice is to, we're trying to expand or widen our thorax or our lower ribs. And one of the things that helps with that is making a sound like so you go and then feel that your lower ribs will open. All right. The next test I want you to try to do is to do a ooh action. And the ooh action is allowing your abdomen to come forward and widen. So when you put those two things together, it is like a action, all right? So we're doing a and what you'll feel is that your pelvic floor, particularly around your anal sphincter, should relax and open, all right? So if I did that and I'm leaning forward, I can have a hand here to support, not support, but really monitor what's happening. And I am going to just do that action of What that does is it keeps our throat open and it prevents us from straining or holding our breath. One of the other things I suggest is, if you can't initiate a bowel movement without straining, is to try to initiate a yawning. So create a yawning effect to initiate that action and that peristalsis in your lower bowels. What we don't want is you to strain on the toilet. So these are little tricks and tools. Once again, you are sitting on the toilet. Ideally, I'm going to lower my stool a little bit. Knees higher than your hips, elbows forward, little bit of a lordosis or an arch in your low back. You're relaxed. You're concentrating on just letting your pelvic floor let go. And you're practicing your sounds and your breathing, widening your rib cage. And as you exhale, your abdomen and your ribs go back. Try that at home. See if it works for you. Lots of water, lots of fiber. If things aren't working for you, talk to your therapist or talk to your doctor.